You ever stand in the shadow of something so big it makes you feel like an ant? That's the Hoover Dam, 700 feet tall, almost a quarter-mile long. It's a mountain of concrete, smack dab in the middle of the desert. This ain't just a dam, folks. It's a testament to American ingenuity and grit, the kind of project that makes you want to slap your knee and say, now that's what I call a day's work. But it wasn't always about awe and inspiration. Back in the early 1900s, the Colorado River was a wild beast. Flooding one minute, bone dry the next. Farmers couldn't make a living, cities couldn't get reliable water. Something had to be done. That's where the dream of the Hoover Dam was born. A crazy idea to tame the Colorado, put the river to work and bring life to the desert. Problem was, nobody had ever built anything this big, this complex, in such a harsh environment. It was a job for the toughest of the tough, a job that would test the limits of human endurance and push the boundaries of engineering. Now, before a single bucket of concrete could be poured, the Colorado River had to be tamed. Think about that, rerouting one of the mightiest rivers in North America. The solution? 2 massive tunnels, each big enough to drive a train through, carved right through the canyon walls. These tunnels weren't for the faint of heart. Daylight was a distant memory for the men who worked down there, breathing in dust and silica, the constant roar of jackhammers echoing through the tunnels. It was dangerous, back-breaking work, but these guys, they got it done. Once the river was safely rerouted, the real work began, building the dam itself. Picture this, a giant concrete bathtub poured one bucket at a time, layer upon layer until it reached for the sky. But this wasn't just any concrete. To make sure the dam would last for generations, they had to come up with something special. They invented a new kind of concrete, laced with special ingredients to make it stronger and prevent cracking. And pouring that concrete, that was a science in itself. They couldn't just pour it all at once. The heat generated by the curing process would have been enough to keep the dam hot for 100 years. So they came up with a system of smaller blocks, each one carefully poured and cooled with ice-cold water piped through a network of pipes embedded in the concrete. Imagine the logistics. Thousands of men working around the clock in the blazing desert heat, pouring, cooling and shaping this concrete monster. And let's not forget the steel, millions of tons of it, used to reinforce the concrete and create the massive gates that would control the flow of the river. Getting that steel to the dam site was a challenge in itself. Railroads were built, roads were carved out of the mountains, all to get those vital materials where they needed to be. Section 4. Danger and determination. It wasn't just a test of engineering, but of human spirit. The conditions were brutal. Scorching desert heat, with temperatures inside the canyon often topping 120 degrees. Accidents were a constant threat. Men dangled from ropes hundreds of feet in the air, working with heavy machinery and explosives. Not everyone made it home. Over 100 lives were lost building this dam. But the work went on. These men, many of them just looking for a job during the Depression, they understood the importance of what they were building. They were building more than just a dam. They were building hope. Hope for a better future. Hope for a nation struggling to get back on its feet. And that's the thing about the Hoover Dam. It's a symbol of what we can achieve when we work together, when we push the limits of what seems possible. It brought electricity to millions, water to parched lands, and created a whole new way of life in the West. Driving across that dam today, looking out over the vastness of Lake Mead, it's hard not to be moved by the sheer scale of it all. The Hoover Dam is a testament to the power of human will, a concrete and steel monument to the American spirit. It's a reminder that even in the face of impossible odds, we can achieve great things.